Hey guys, I want to see. I haven't done a video in a long time, and I want to do. I haven't said anything about my personal feelings about this economic crisis, and so let me explain as how I get it, how I understand it, and I did something dollars. I forgot the name of it, dollars, the war, and stuff like that. Because basically, I mentioned that from the information that I gathered, that the war was an attempt to keep the dollar in power as the oil backing currency, or the main currency that oil is traded in, and that Saddam Hussein and those guys were nothing more than pawns, just what as Osama bin Laden is a pawn that they can still use anytime. And so that's why, conspiracy, why they never taken him out of power, because he is, oh yeah, well, he's a terrorist threat, and fear and all of that is used to keep people in in control, or to manipulate them with fear. And so he can come out, oh yeah, Osama did this, Osama let off this bomb, Osama did this, which is pathetic even in this time. I mean, I haven't heard one U.S. candidate for president say, especially McCain, or either candidate, actually Obama as well, mention Osama bin Laden. This, that they have control of it. And so basically what I'm saying is that's a loose cannon, it's a smoking gun, and they use it, and they've been using it for years. And the only reason why they got rid of Osama, the oil conglomerates, which made billions in surplus, so they actually, the rich and these conglomerates, kind of drain the economy, the economics of the economy. So while everybody else is, suffering and going down with this money crisis, and people can't pay their mortgages and stuff like that, jobs were being shipped overseas, and the big utilities and national were just monopolizing and making more money. So here's my point. Sorry for the segue, large segue. So the problem is that they printed more money. Money is actually based on credit, so they can lend out money. Banks can lend out money based on how much money they think that they're supposed to get back in. So how much money you owe them, how much money Jan or Jim owes for their house that they just bought, the mortgage that they take out. They'll take that money and actually lend it to somebody else, so that they can owe them money. So that's money that they owe them. So it becomes a whole thing of credit, and then if their banks are giving money or receive money, or however it works, is that they get money from the government, the credit, or however they get their credit is by spending more, just printing, the government spending more money. That's the trillions of dollars in debt, and then we owe some of that to other people as well, other countries. But basically, which is China's and stuff like that. So now they can pull our cars, they can come in and buy up, foreclosed businesses and stuff like that. So we're literally selling off America day to day. The problem is really, really huge. And for all that they've done, now nobody's respecting the dollar anyway. So all they've done in war to keep the dollar from changing over to the euro is happening anyway, and that's really dangerous, because basically we lose power. Then we're no longer a superpower when that happens. So where does that superpower go? To another nation. So what happens when that superpower goes to another nation? Then you get, especially if it's a dictatorship, or a monarchy, you know. So that becomes a real big problem when one man, that becomes very Hitlerish, when one man has that kind of power, or a government that has a one man type of a monarchy, and the superpower is all of a sudden fed into that organization, and that would be the European Common Market, you know. So we have a serious problem, and America has a very serious problem. So, we need to find solutions. I don't think it could be stopped, because it's a Bible prophecy, but, we need to detain it. We need to still fight the good fight, and so, so we really need to really think of ways. Basically, all of this stuff happened, when Bush got into power. People that just don't respect the presidency. They forced their way into office. I think this election there should be no hanging chads. Okay, so anyway, this guy gets into office. Supposedly goes into this war, soaks up all the money, just doesn't respect the kind of things, lowers the environment, the environmental standards for gas and oil. We have all these greenhouse effects. I mean, what was done was obvious. Everybody knew the mistakes, and they all thought it was okay, because we got a president that just doesn't give a damn. So, those other companies can't blame Wall Street. Blame the American people. So what I'm saying is, wake up, American people. This is a government for the people, by the people. We are the ones that tell them what to do. So when they get to the point where they have such security and power and control over us as American people, that's our mistake. We should be working every day not to let them have control. We need to maintain our own power and control. So, that also comes in the slipping of our character and our moral fiber and stuff. Now, I'm not saying anybody is perfect or nothing, but there were certain standards that were in place for us to maintain control. And as those standards slip, so do we slip, so do our country slip, and everything else. So I hope that people are beginning to see that, when you take God out of your finances and everything like that, and out of your government and out of your moral character, the standard of maintaining, drops, and everything else drops. So there's just some practical reasons of having these kind of standards. When institutions like marriage and everything like that, and money, we move in God we trust off of the coin and put it on the side. I think Happy Slip mentioned that. I didn't know that. So when you move God and our blessings, we ask God to bless us, but we constantly say, we don't want you in our schools. And as soon as we take those out, we got to put in metal detectors. We don't want you in our families. As soon as we take the head of the family out, then we have all kind of structures. So basically, those things of maintaining something that you believe in. Even if you're not, a holy or don't believe in all that stuff, there's still the practicality of having a standard. So, we've dropped our standards, people. And so I think the next president has a lot of work. I don't think that is one person that could do it. And I think that we need to pray for him, pray for our country. And, because it does say that if my people that are called by my name humble themselves, and basically there was a lot of arrogance, hey, we could do what the heck we want, and, and that doesn't work. It doesn't work, so when you do that, if we humble ourselves, and it says that, I don't know scripture really well. I can't quote it, but my people which are called by my name humble themselves, I will heal the land, and things of that sort. Restoration. Things can be restored. So we need to think about restoring things back to the way they were, which work. Because what's up for the future, nobody's gonna want that.